Welcome to the July 9th Town Board meeting. It is 6:30 PM, and I would like a motion to go into executive session to discuss the possible hiring of a particular person, legal advice regarding matters leading to employment of a particular person or corporation. And we'd like to invite Josh Frankel into this executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I need a motion to exit out of executive session.
Make that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Public meeting is now called to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the emergency exit is to my right, the two doors on my right. And can we have the roll call?
Supervisor Ham,
Here.
Councilmembers Ahern,
Here.
Doyle,
Here.
Dietrich,
Here.
all present.
Okay, I would like to amend the agenda to add an additional executive session at the conclusion of this meeting for advice of counsel on the Route 44 sidewalk and to discuss the possible hiring of a particular person. So I need a motion to accept the agenda with that amendment.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. All right, public comment on agenda items only. Okay.
Everybody knows where the emergency exits are.
She said
Sure
she
they do.
I
Did
need
you
a-
say your emergency exits?
I did say.
Oh, I didn't even hear you. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so I have had a meeting with NICEAG, who came, representatives that came and left some pamphlets and some information for us, which I'll put on the front table. It's the billing assistance programs for New Yorkers and the understanding electric bill charges. We had an interesting conversation with people complaining about how high their bills have been or were, and it was interesting to find out that really isn't NICEAG, it's your suppliers, and that there are no regulations on those suppliers. So they can charge whatever they want to charge. So, I mean, that might be something you might want to write to your congresspeople about. But they also left information, and I have to say that they did a great job. We had that terrible storm, and they were out there. They were very, very good to talk to. We're continuing to discuss EMS service options. Nothing definitive really has been decided, obviously, or I would have brought it here. The Dutchess County Supervisors and Mayors meeting was this week. Millerton is having a huge celebration for the 175th anniversary. There will be parades, fairs, a light show, and more. Check out their website to see what they have to offer, and you can go visit. They're going to have also the groundbreaking for their pool. There was some discussion about EMS services as well. All towns are having the same problem that we're having. The cost is exorbitant, and so they're all looking at shared services and other possible options. There was also a discussion about a new county initiative on animal welfare. Our county legislator is part of that committee, and he was unable to attend tonight, so he will be at our next meeting to share information on that topic. July 4th, a huge thank you to all the volunteers that made the 250th anniversary such a special day. It was a lot of work, not only that day, but the months of planning that went into it. We are truly fortunate to have the amazing volunteers that we have for the fire department and our rescue squad. We are also very fortunate that we were spared the devastating effects of the storm that happened that day. Some of our surrounding towns were not so fortunate. I was in on a lot of the county Zoom calls, emergency Zoom calls with Bill Beal and with our county executive, and the damage that was done in Pauling and LaGrange and Unionville and Poughkeepsie was unbelievable, and they're still straightening that out. There is a roof leak during one of the rainstorms. It's in my office. We are having Precision Roofing, who is supposed to be doing annual roof checks and cleanups, to come and clean and inspect the roof. Hopefully it's just a clogged something that caused that. This has not been done since 2023, and they've actually done it before, and we have a contract with them. I don't know why it's been that long since we had it done, but it was considered to be the regular spring cleanup. Well, the total cost of the spring work is $1,950. Hopefully, they won't find anything serious, and it's only a blockage that needs to be cleaned. Had a very good meeting this morning with the accountant. Michelle and I met with Denise Williamson from RBT today, mainly about the budget process, as we are getting to that time of year. It was a very informative meeting. She explained a lot about the budget, how to put the budget together. She really is pretty amazing. I would like to acknowledge Michelle Topolsky, who has just begun working in the last week and has had to jump in with both feet due to an unexpected absence. Michelle has already improved herself to be a great team player. Thank you to Michelle. I mean, she has done everything that you can possibly think of, including stuffing envelopes for the water bill. So she really has got quite an experience in her first couple of days. So I really appreciate all that she did. Just a few words. It appears that the summer rec program is off to a great start, thanks to the Herculean efforts of Marge Arnold, Nancy Nowak, Judy Moran, the rec staff, our attorney, and the people at Maplebrook. So thank you to all of them for getting that up and running. And that concludes my supervisor's report.
Okay, good evening. For the month of June, remitted to the town supervisor was our town, county, and state local revenues totaling $237.50. The June 18th minutes were circulated this evening. I do have to acknowledge receipt of Frank Langsing, one of our town constables, his resignation. Due to his busy schedule and his other jobs, he's just not able to perform the duties as one of our town constables. And also circulated prior to the meeting, as you guys do, I believe I have on the agenda, is that from the town of Dover, they have served us with the lead agency regarding the proposed local law that they are doing regarding establishing a town-wide moratorium on energy, and data storage and related facilities. So that is my report. You guys able?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I second.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. Rosanna, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And then also for the resignation with regret, Frank's.
Right, and we
resignation.
accept that resolution, that resignation with regret. So I make that
Thank
motion
you,
to accept
Rosanna.
that resignation with regret.
Thank you, Nicole. Oh,
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So have we advertised for that yet? or
Oh,
no?
I had to wait for you guys tonight. I will let you know that I do have, I've handed out the county application to 2 individuals who have already expressed an interest and who would be excellent candidates.
Okay.
So once I get back from the county, we will be able to verify that.
Okay.
And then I'll be able to present more once I know more, if that's okay.
Great.
Also, I want to just take an opportunity, as you did acknowledge our wonderful 4th of July celebration, even with our storms. But just 2 days before that, we did have our summer blood drive, so I do want to give a heartfelt thank you to everybody that was able to come to the Avenia Firehouse and donate for our summer blood drive. And I look forward to seeing everybody in February for our winter blood drive. That concludes the town clerk's report.
Okay, thank you. Discussion items. The fencing. So Vicki, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So I was, it sounded like we needed a third quote for split rail fencing, both along the rail trail going from Borden Park or across from Maxon Mills, that intersection with Nelson Hill Bridge and Furnace Bank Road. There's a kiosk, and then there's a trail that leads pedestrians to the Wassaic Park. And along that trail, between Pauling Corp and the Wassaic Creek and the trail, there's a split rail fence that has been declining over the years. And I think it's true, in the minutes they said it was like probably installed when they extended rail service from Wingdale to the Wassaic train station. So as part of that, within the right-of-way is this rail, split rail fence that has been declining over the years, and we've tried to kind of Band-Aid it and put it, buy new posts and pop them in, or new rails. But I think the whole thing needs to be redone, so I had a Casey Brown, Willie Brown's son, who's provided a quote for us. And I think, did I circulate it to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so the quote is good for a short period of time, but at any rate, what we need to do, as per our last meeting, is to establish what the process is for repairing and, to that degree, what it's in the MTA's right-of-way per parcel access. So I believe it is in that right-of-way. And I've asked Rosanna to please contact the MTA, which we were provided with two potential points of contact. The chief maintenance right-of-way for Metro North Railroad is somebody that we'll reach out to. I'm going to draft a letter for an email for Rosanna to forward to this engineer for the Metro North Railroad, and see what they recommend for the process going forward, and to establish for sure whether that's our responsibility or theirs to repair that. I also got an estimate from this Casey Brown for the section of sidewalk on that leads from West Main Street and is not yet complete towards the ball field. And there's a section again along a creek that would protect pedestrians again with a split rail fence from falling into the creek. So it's not as a long stretch, but it is a tricky stretch, and he provided a quote for that as well. So I understand that's something that the DOT will require from us, and so that provides yet another option, another quote.
Okay.
Did you want to share something
About the fencing?
about the picnic table?
When we got to that.
Okay. The next item is videotaping all public meetings. So this conversation has come up a couple times. We currently video this meeting, the planning board and the ZBA. And so in my way of thinking, I think it would be important, since these are committees that seem to be pretty active, that the housing board and the comp plan committee at the very least be videoed as well, since they are dealing with things that are of huge interest or concern to our residents. So how do you feel about that?
I thought we all agreed on that.
Well, I just want to make sure, because we need to say that this is going to be done,
Right,
okay?
yeah.
All right, so you're okay saying this, are you okay with?
I have had feedback from the two committees that I'm a liaison for, and the Conservation Advisory Council felt that that would be a burden that they wouldn't like to do, that they have open meetings, they follow open meetings law, and they prefer not to have their meetings recorded by videotape. The Comprehensive Plan Committee, Bill, you're here. I think my consensus was that you're okay with videotaping. Okay, so we have one committee that is the advisory council.
And you're here, so, I mean, you're okay with the housing board?
Well, I mean, I don't know that we took a vote about it.
No, I informed them that we were moving
Okay.
towards that.
All right, so,
So I'm not sure how folks feel.
well, the issue is the housing board deals with a lot of issues, and they are a board, and they do deal with a lot of issues that are of concern, development, the housing trust, the housing trust fund. So I think it's really important that, and now with ADUs and other options, so I think it's really important. So I think that we'll
Can I ask how the ZBA was able to opt out? Is there a process
So
that the
ZBA
They
did
don't,
opt out.
they're,
Oh, ZBA
they just don't meet
is,
as much.
okay. So is there an opt-out opportunity for Conservation Advisory Council to request that they not be videotaped?
I would say no, if everyone's doing it, why would we leave one out?
It's just that they are a volunteer organization. When they
They're all
applied, I provided them with the guidelines, the committee guidelines, and they, I wasn't on the board for 2 years, so I don't know if you brought people on while I wasn't there, but the guidelines did not state that, and open meetings law does not require it.
No, it doesn't, that's what we're trying to change.
You-
That we want to tape all the meetings.
Right, so I can bring that information back to them and see if they were all willing to do that. I think that may be a time when they would potentially not be willing to serve. So I'll just bring back that information back to you, I think, at the next meeting as to what they want to do going forward.
All right, well, what about the housing board and do you want
They're all
to, or
volunteers.
just, huh?
They're all volunteers, it's not just the CAC.
Yeah, they're all volunteers, and I think, they didn't sign up for this when they originally volunteered.
And nor did the planning board or the ZBA, just told them it was gonna happen.
Right.
And there was some pushback, but they eventually agreed and let them quit, and it is what it is. But,
I'm just, as a liaison, I feel responsible to bring their concerns back to the board, and if you vote, it's your, they serve at the pleasure of the town board, so it is your call, but I would suggest that we update the guidelines ASAP, if in fact you go forward to this, so the next volunteer who signs up to be a member of the committee, they know that that the meetings are recorded.
What was their concern about being recorded? I missed that.
I think they just felt that their conversations, they are all working hard to figure out what the needs are, and they want to be able to talk frankly amongst ourselves and amongst the public, but they didn't feel that they were ready to go public. I think that's often when I've been looked for people to serve on the town board, putting somebody in front of a microphone and putting that out on the airwaves and out on the internet for everyone to hear, it sometimes is a bit much. You need to be ready and willing, I think, to have all of that out on the internet for somebody to surf and to find and to quote you out of context or in context, whatever. But it's an added element that not everybody is comfortable with.
and my concern and my kind of response to that is, I hear constantly how we're not transparent, we're not, backroom politics, all of this stuff. And I think in response to that, I think that was one of the reasons that we actually started videotaping the planning board and the ZBA. So I think that is another avenue. Now, are 100 people going to watch them? Probably not, but they're there. There's a positive to that. So, when somebody's out in town and they're saying, well, so-and-so said, and we recently had a situation like that, and I said, no, they didn't, look at the video. And they realized that what they said that was hearsay was not true, and they could prove that on the video. So there's obviously pluses and minuses to everything that we do, but I think there's more pluses than minuses in this case.
I agree with you both. But I also feel strongly that Vicky she's correct, she should be allowed just to go back to them and tell them that this is the way we're moving. And then if they want to leave, they can leave. Some people don't want to be heard on Facebook. I mean, we all get bad press from people around the area. But I still am strongly for this, but give them the opportunity to say, this is, tell them that this is the way we're moving.
Just to add another component to it, was that a couple of years ago, they did take apart the meeting room on the second floor, and they started moving all the meetings. The intent was to have the meetings in here because everything is set up in here. At the time, we still had Mike Flint, so maybe it was different with the schedule and the availabilities, but I think that was the goal that they were looking to do with the transparency and having all meetings available. Not everybody can come to a rec meeting, but maybe we want to be able to participate
I
or
forgot
be
the rec
knowledgeable on what's going on. And there are a lot of the different committees that have a lot of work. And it is also a selling point to those that are finding out about what projects are going on, and maybe they do want to come to a meeting, maybe they do want to volunteer and get more involved to realize the work that's being done. So to put it on a flip side, it was very nerve-wracking when we first started televising the meetings, and now here we are today, you know, being able to offer a lot of information to all of our residents. We talk about those that have a commute to come even to this meeting, and they're rushing to get here. So maybe, you know, somebody that has to stop at CVS or grab a bite to eat, take care of the kids, go to a soccer game, but then can still be part of the community because they can't physically get here anymore. So there is a bonus to having this as an opportunity rather than looking at it as a negative aspect.
And it can be uncomfortable, I understand that, I'm not really thrilled about it either, right? You slip up, you say something stupid, you look 10 pounds heavier, I mean, there's all kinds of things, you know, so, you know, there are all kinds of things, but, you know, it is, I think it's my responsibility to make sure that everybody
Has information.
it has that access. And I think it would clear up a lot of misunderstandings. Because there's a lot of, in a small town, there's a lot of gossip, there's a lot of chit chat, there's a lot of things that go up on Facebook that are absolutely not true. And so, you know, some of that can be clarified because there it is, it's right there in black and white color, but it's right there, and you can look at it and you can hear and see exactly, you know, what was said. So I think that there are some advantages to that. And the one response that I would make to the CAC is I have substituted as a liaison to that committee, and they've had some really excellent speakers that have come. And I learned a lot from those speakers being there, and I think that is also an opportunity for them to educate the community on conservation things. That was my first actually experience with the HVA, and I've had several experiences since then, and have learned that even though dead trees standing in the backyard don't look nice, they should stay there unless they're going to do damage because they are a habitat, blah, blah, blah. If you're having a tree taken down, try to take it down just the top off. You know, I've learned a lot about the environment, about conservation. So, you know, I think that it can also be a teaching tool, especially for them that do have so much background in conservation and that kind of thing. So, how do we proceed then? Do we make a motion that all,
I think what I'm hearing is there is some request from board members that, and even members of boards that are present, that they have the opportunity to go to their board, just get their opinion and feedback. So it might behoove this board to listen to that feedback before it makes a decision.
okay, so we'll have it on the agenda for the next meeting as well.
Yes.
And the next meeting, CAC meets before the next meeting?
They should. They're on the third Thursday, and you're on the 23rd. We're
Yeah,
on
that's
an
next
off-kilter
Thursday.
schedule. Yeah, so we should be right before that. I will not be here, so I will ask our chair to, if they have concerns they'd like to bring up to the town board before they make their vote, that they're able to.
Okay.
That would be great.
Yeah, because I'm just the messenger trying to remember what their concerns were. And I think it had to being able to talk things through without worrying how it is going to, without it being polished. They wanted to be able to.
You think I'm polished?
I think we have some.
But
Yeah, I think we're a little more organized. We have a packet. We have, all the materials and everything. I don't know that their meetings are all that perfectly ready to roll. And people have comments and concerns, and they work out their priorities in a way that, I don't
Okay.
know, that
So-
is less ready to roll on TV.
So Josh, you'll share that with the housing board, which I believe is meeting next week?
Monday.
All right, so you'll,
I can even bring it up again, it's
all right,
fine.
so, and there's a comp plan meeting next week as well. But, you know, like I said, I really think that, and like, there was a huge, the ZBA had a huge issue with it, but they have settled in and everything goes great and nobody quit and, they realized it really wasn't as bad as they thought it would be. So we'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
Do they do that recording themselves, or is that?
Matt does the
Matt
planning
does that.
board and the.
And the planning board?
Okay. The next item is a local law for smoking and vaping. We talked about that. There was a sample that was sent around. There were some comments about fees and that kind of thing. So thoughts on how you would like that to look. So first of all, I guess my question would be, are we all okay with not having any smoking on town property, on the town hall, in the parks, or vaping, or, okay.
Yes.
So that we all agree on. So now we have to have a local law, and they gave a sample, which we reviewed and Ian reviewed. Ian had some concerns about it, so there may have to be adjustments in that, but are you okay with him going ahead and drafting a resolution? Ian, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I think what would help here is if I had from the board a list of very specific locations of municipal property and locations. Which parks, which buildings. I think it's good to have that laid out specifically in the code. It's very clear that way. And so if I'm understanding, we want to limit any smoking, vaping included in that, of any tobacco, cannabis products whatsoever. So blanket for
Yes.
everything. Just a list of the specific locations would be best. I think they should
Okay,
be.
so let's just talk about that briefly. We're talking about Town Hall, we're talking about the tennis courts, we're talking about Beekman Park, we're talking about Borden Park.
Passaic Park, I would say, so Borden Park is complicated because it's actually owned by Pauling Corp. We do our picnic tables and our signs and everything, but it's not technically owned by the town.
Okay.
So I don't know if we can impose a rule on somebody else's
This would be on
property.
municipal property.
Yeah, so
So the
I'd say
state law
Passaic
does it just
project.
on parks, and even parks is defined, not exactly how you would imagine, but
So we
that's
can't
okay.
do it for Borden Park,
Hmm?
I would not do it for
No.
Borden.
No.
I would do it for Passaic Park.
Passaic Park, okay.
So Town Hall, Beekman, Passaic.
Can we do it for the library?
I think that's ours.
Not ours?
Can't do it on our property.
No.
No,
Okay.
they're a separate entity, even though
Yep.
they mean it.
And the cemeteries that we own?
I would say we should do that.
If you own it,
Yeah,
yeah,
let's do
cemeteries
that.
would be.
What about the highway garage? That's town property.
That would be town property.
It is town property. I would say yes.
Are there more than one cemeteries? Do they have names? If someone just give me the names of them, I'll list
Okay,
them out.
names of cemeteries?
I don't have that.
Okay, that's all right, we'll get
Well,
them.
it's my
Get Road.
My Gap Road Cemetery.
Yeah, I think,
But
And
there's
these
several,
roads.
there's one across the road from, if there's one in Leedsville.
not
there's
all of
one
them are
also-
owned by the
Yeah,
town.
They're the ones that we
Right.
mow, so they're on our,
The ones. we
Yeah,
own,
thank
the
you.
town
That's,
specs.
there you go, perfect.
Perfect.
Dawn will get it
Thank
for
you.
me.
Okay.
Thank you, Dawn.
Cemetery, Dawn.
Cemetery
Got
gone. So, yeah, the highway, you said yes to the highway?
I think so.
I think I would ask Megan.
Yeah, I would check,
I
just
just
check
don't
with
know.
Megan. to
We
see
can
if
check
they-
with
they might-
Megan.
They probably have smokers now.
They do,
So
but
there should
how
be
do
a-
you do it for all town property but one?
No, but you do it for the property, but they have to have a designated area or something that's away from everybody, you know, that's all. I mean, you're not going to tell them to go out when it gets
yeah.
built, oh, you have to go to 22 to smoke. I mean,
They do have that in the school district.
Yeah,
And we're not designating sidewalks, right? So they could go to the sidewalk, presumably. So they're off the,
There's no sidewalk.
well, there'll be no sidewalk there,
well, not
that's what
there.
I'm saying.
But
But
All right, so,
anyway, yeah.
so, all right, good point. So we'll ask Megan about the highway department.
Yeah.
And if there's anything else that comes up, let me know and I can start working around that. And the fine, everybody okay with?
what's the norm?
So it's a $50 fine, but you can have escalation for subsequent violations within a period of time. So you get a second violation within an 18-month period, that fine gets escalated. And I could do that for a second and a third. I could put an escalation to it.
Okay.
If anybody is particularly compassionate about what those numbers should be, send me an email. If not, I'll make something up.
Okay.
Okay.
Did the ashtrays get moved or not yet?
I don't think they have because we don't have, I think we probably have to wait until after.
Till
the
after we
law
do this,
is in
okay.
order, that's mine, right?
We have, unless you told John, I didn't tell him.
I didn't tell them to
Discuss
do
it.
it because we don't have a local law yet that says they can't smoke here.
There is already a law that says we
Well,
can.
state
In
law,
front of
but
50 feet,
I think you
100
need to
feet
wait.
in front of the building.
Well,
Just gotta move it.
I can ask John to move it, I mean, if that's what
Right.
you want to do. Okay. All right, next is the local laws for ADU tax exemption.
So there was a request for 2 local laws. I have a draft of each. They are modeled under, not that anybody really cares, but 469 and 421P of the real property tax law. And the drafts I have shared with our assessor and had a lengthy conversation with her today, going through them, making sure that she's comfortable with the language. There are some additional edits that I'm making from that. And I asked the assessor to also take the exemptions and give us a couple models so the board can see what the exemptions will look like in a practical manner, which would be helpful. And when I complete this draft, I will then share that with the housing board for their comments. We can talk about it. I may have some questions, Josh, and we can talk about that before I finish up my final drafts. And then once everybody's kind of on board, we'll present them to the town board and hopefully have the ability to answer any questions that anybody has at that point, have models in place with actual numbers attached to it so everybody has a good idea of what it's going to look like in play. That's where we're at.
Okay, so when you're working on finishing those up, and then so for the next meeting, will you be ready to introduce those laws?
I think by the next meeting, depending on, so your meeting's Monday,
Yeah, I was
right?
just
There's
gonna
no
ask-
way
I was
I'm
just
gonna
gonna ask
have
if you
it
can have those edits
by,
done
by
by
Monday.
Monday. Okay.
I don't think so. I hate to give a draft to give you something to chew on. Maybe we could do that, but it wouldn't be, I'd rather finish it to where I think it should be. If I can do that Friday, tomorrow, I will. But I may not be able to do that by tomorrow. I can't promise you that. So,
So
the
you're
next
thinking-
meeting, yeah, the meeting times are going to jam us up here a little bit.
Yeah.
But you can still email it to them when it's ready for them to review.
Sure,
And then
sure.
they can email you
And Donna's, she's going to need some time to work up some real examples based on the exemptions.
So can they email you comments then when?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. I'll email it to you, you can circulate it, you guys can do what you want to do, comments can come back, we can talk about it, we can set up conference calls.
I think I would want the housing board to consolidate comments. I don't want a situation where you're getting comments, individual comments
Yeah.
from multiple housing board members that might conflict with each other.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be
Point person.
The
the
Yeah.
conduit. I'm the Foundation for Community Health Grant has 3 different things, and I'm the point person for this one, so that's the natural approved thing for me to be that
Cool.
conduit. So in practice, I guess, we would get something for you to review at our August meeting. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm hoping to have it to you by the end of next week, so you guys can chew on it, have a good
And we'll
feel
discuss it.
for what it is, and hopefully that'll be a very productive meeting for you then at that point.
Okay, so we'll get it from you. You send it to me by email. I'll be a bottleneck. And we can discuss it online, and then hopefully our meeting, our housing board meeting is August 10th. And I'm able to attend that, which is great. And so hopefully we can give housing board approval to it on August 10th. And having that time to review in advance over email will help the likelihood of that.
So the first meeting in August would be when? I don't have a calendar. First meeting in August, our first meeting in August.
Is the 6th for us.
6.
August 6th. All right, so we wouldn't do anything on August 6th. So we wait until after the 10th, so it'd be the August 20th
20th, yeah.
that we would discuss it again and have Josh come and give feedback. At that point, if you feel that there are any adjustments, Ian, then you would make those, and then when that's all said and done, sometime in September, we would introduce the local laws. Does that seem like it's,
Yeah, I mean, we might even be able to do it earlier if the housing board approves on the 10th, and we get a draft to the board, and it's on,
It could be on the
it's-
20th.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
could put it, it would be a resolution introducing it at that point, we'd have to set the public hearing.
Public hearing and all that.
And presumably you'll have a final draft before then with calculations that's approved by the housing board. So if there are questions from this board, we can answer those and be ready to go by the next meeting.
okay?
Okay.
So then we'll see how things progress, then we'll decide which meeting that we're going to actually.
Yeah, I mean, we'll aim for end of August, first week of September.
Okay. Recommendations for the water billing program, Mr. Flood. Don't shake your head.
What?
You're on TV.
So do we get hair and makeup when we come to these meetings now? We gotta show up an hour early?
Look good, yeah. Sound good, look good.
Okay. I'm Bill Flacco, I'm the chairman of the Water District Committee. So we gave you, we've been looking for another system to
Thank you.
do the building, help with the building and the online payments. So Nancy we have found one, it's called Muni Link, and we gave you all the paperwork. I think you have it all. So we would like to move forward with that. It can, just so you're up to speed, the last meter reading we had, we could not upload the meter readings to our existing system. It wouldn't work. So it took 4 hours for Nancy to get anybody on support to get and that's been normal for a while. So she finally then she went out on sick leave and then came in on the following day after she'd been out on sick leave and uploaded the meter reading so that we could send the bills out. So this will allow us to monitor the water bills. It will allow us to take payments online. It's more expensive than we're paying now. It's expensive, there's no question. It's $12,000 a year plus the maintenance, plus the support system. It's come highly recommended by other towns. Saugerties uses it, and they highly recommended it. They have had no problems with it. Our system, we have no backup at all. So this has a total backup system, plus the billing. And I read your email, Vicki. It will make her time much easier. So we have to make this a much quicker system to make it so she's not spending hours and hours there uploading stuff. And then the issue that also happens is that they drop the meter readings. The existing system will drop the meter readings, and we don't pick it up until the next quarter. So it's an issue. So they don't get billed, they get caught up on the next bill. So that's one of the biggest complaints we have, is people get these huge bills, and then she has to explain that what happened. It's just ridiculous what we're doing.
So her, Nancy's time working on water district billing issues is billed to the water district, correct?
Yeah.
So if, let's say, she suddenly doesn't have to do as much work for the water district, is some of her staff time, then the savings that we pay would maybe help take up the extra cost of having this software?
Sure.
It's a salary position.
Oh. It's
Right,
not
but
hourly.
it'll give her,
It's just like a stipend.
Oh, so that's not going to help.
but she will
save.
give, obviously it's going to ease up her time.
It's very low.
Low.
The cost?
Oh, her, yeah, her.
Yeah.
Well, and we have, I forget her name,
Vicki,
Vicki, does the
she's
billing.
treasurer.
She's the treasurer, she does the billing.
And is she paid also by the water
Yep.
district? So
Yep.
her job will still continue to be,
Correct, but I think what we have to do is we have to cross-train them so they're both able to run this system.
and that training is included, as
Yep.
I understand, by the
Correct.
by the costs.
And I talked to VRI, they're happy with the system. They said it'll work fine. So it also, we've been trying to get emails from all of our customers, so we can send out announcements of water breaks, this, that, and so on and so forth, and where they're gonna be working and so on and so forth, so that we try to do as much as we can. She is getting the emails down and phone numbers.
Isn't it my understanding too, that if there's a problem in the water system, that they will alert the VRI?
Correct. Oh, yeah. VRI will be able to interface with this as well. And they have their own computer at the pump house up on the hill. So they can read the meters and track them and so on and so forth. And they also get a report, the ones that have to be replaced.
So there's that one-time fee of like 12,000,
Right.
right? And let's say for some reason it just doesn't work out. Is there any downside other than losing the 12,000 for all the?
I think it'll work fine, Vicki. I think it'll be fine. We'll try it. We'll try it first. And I'm sure they'll come in with a demo. They've already talked to Nancy extensively about it. She's talked to the village of Saugerties.
So you said that it was $12,000 a year earlier.
No.
So it's one
One
time
shot,
for the 12,000, and then it's $7,800
For
a
the support,
year.
yep.
Just want to make that clear.
So it seems like a lot for 300 people, 300 households, right? We have approximately 300 households in the district, but you think the savings and the interactivity, the ability for people to go online to see what their history of their usage and all of that is
For
going to be easier on our staff, in that people will be more comfortable seeing their billing.
Correct. And
records.
as a customer, you'll be able to go online and see your water bill,
Yeah.
see how much you've been paying, and track it and so on and so forth. You'll be able to do that as well.
And we have had complaints from people that are upset that they can't make their payments online. And I find this really hard to believe, but a lot of people don't have like checkbooks.
No.
So they're bringing in cash
Oh,
to
that's
pay.
We like cash.
And actually, one time Nancy wasn't here at that time, she comes in at 11, and somebody came and she said, I want to pay my water bill, and I said, she'll be in at 11, and she says, well, here, I'm going to leave it with you, and there's a bunch of cash. which I put in an envelope. So, you know, I think it'll avoid some of that. I mean, I think it
You'll
will-
also save on postage, people will just do it all online, which is the way everything is going now, so.
You'll get a postcard instead of a letter. That's all you'll get, until we get settled.
Won't we stop that
Yep.
too at some point? I
Yep.
mean, I don't want to get a postcard if I'm going to get it
You'll
by
get a
email.
special letter.
No, seriously, I mean, I get most of my
I-
bills by email.
Right, you'll get it by email eventually.
Right.
It'll all be done online. That's our goal.
And I'll save a stamp sending it back or driving over here. Yeah.
Since you're here, Bill, unmetered sales versus metered, there's two lines in your
I saw that.
revenue.
I don't know what the
does unmetered mean?
I don't know what that
Are there
is.
people who just don't have the facilities to have a meter?
No, everybody should be.
Everybody should have a meter.
We have a few that have not. Ian has drafted a letter for Mike, because Mike is the only one that can go, can knock on doors, because he's the zoning administrator. Oh, you may have vacant properties. That may be part of it. But we don't have a lot of those either.
Okay, just curious.
There are some that are not paying, but Ian has drafted a letter to Mike. We just haven't followed through with it yet.
So for people who are in arrears, they have, are delinquent, the bill goes against their
Sure.
property, and
Right.
they pay it at the end with their taxes.
Correct. So
Yes.
just to let you know, like the last quarter, we billed right around 58,000 for the quarter. We received a little less than 30,000 payments.
Wow.
So 30,000 will go at the end of the year.
Wow.
So that's sort of what's happening in each quarter.
That's not ideal.
No. So people pay, when they have an escrow account, they pay with their taxes.
Out of that.
So we don't get paid that year, we get paid the following year.
So we need to increase the penalties so it becomes very unfavorable for them to wait
Well, yeah,
until
but
the end.
if you have a mortgage, they're not gonna pay it. We've been through this before with the last board.
Well,
They
things
don't-
happen too, like I have a mortgage, but I pay mine.
Right, yeah,
But I
yeah,
was
some
paying
people
through
pay.
Bank of Millbrook, and somehow it got lost, and then Nancy told me, and I came to pay it, and I was a day late. And it had already gone to my tax bill. So this should help all that stuff, this should start
Oh,
clearing up all
absolutely.
that stuff.
Yeah, it should help, it should make it much easier.
Yeah.
And we did raise, the commercial rates went up quite a considerable amount. So we did get a few complaints, not a lot, just a few, handful. And we explained to people that it's broke, so we needed the money and we had to make the increases. So, and then I saw your email, the modular thing for Lavelle Road should be in October.
That's not what I was talking about, though.
I know, right.
I was asking, is there a schedule? Is there any kind of schedule on when all this is supposed to, it's not in the,
Well, they're waiting for it to be built. So-
no, I know for that, but was there ever a schedule made like this should happen then?
Like a timeline.
And then a timeline, yeah.
Right.
I haven't,
No, not really. They just, because it has to be
because
built.
what I'm wondering is, why are we waiting to work on the tank while this is being built? Why can't they do it at the same time? I just don't know. I haven't been able to tell.
They're not even bidding that until next year, I believe. I know the last
So
time.
why is that? Why are they not bidding it till next year? Why aren't they bidding it this year right now? That's my question, really.
We can ask.
I'd like to know.
Okay.
Thank
Get
you.
back to you. Yep.
Any other questions?
But I would like to thank the committee. When we took this over, we had $400 in the bank. So right now, we have about about $90,000 cash in our account. Plus, we have like another 90, almost 100,000 in the state fund for drawing interest. So we've done pretty well. And we've upgraded a lot of the valves, we've redone a lot of that, we had 2 major leaks, so that's all paid for. The final payment will be done this month. And they've done a great job.
Thank you, Bill.
And I can complain when my bill went up. I did not.
It didn't go up that much, right?
No, not that much.
No.
No, a little bit. I'm worried about this one because of all the plants and everything, but it will be fine.
We like
I'm
flowers.
sure. That's normal. It's normal anyway this time of year.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
So, do you think we're okay with this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, Ian, I'll send you the information,
Yeah.
and
Please.
we'll need a resolution. So I
We
just
will
want
need
to
a
warn you
resolution.
that the utility bill and the pay are not quite as clear cut. We have their proposal, but it's like per person and all that other stuff. It's a little weird the way they do it.
I'll send me the information, we'll talk about it,
Okay.
and if I can figure it out.
Okay. The next item on the discussions is the, Dawn actually referred to it in her clerk's report, is a moratorium on the building of energy storage facilities. I believe I sent that all to you, the sample from Dover.
Yep.
And so I guess the question is,
Can I just add something here, please?
yes, absolutely.
Thank you. So, I just happened at the same time, well, not a little before, I had read an article, and the town of Dryden has done this also. And I reached out to them just to ask them about it and congratulate them on it because it's very, very of the moment. And also New York State's working on something too, but I'm not sure what that is. And they sent me a whole package of stuff. I have not been able to distribute this to you guys, but I will. It looks very interesting, and I think it's something we should look into. I think actually the state should do it completely, but,
For all the towns
yeah,
in New
for
York.
all, for every place in New York, because it's just these, if you, I'll send you the message, but they've included accessory data centers, cryptocurrency data mines, and different, I mean, it's not just the one thing. It's like these facilities are taking so much energy and water out of communities that it's got to be, and it's, I hate to say it, but it's being done by the very wealthy. That's who's doing it. And we don't want that to happen around here. And Dover doesn't want it done, I'm sure, everyone else, so.
Well, hopefully-
I'll pass this on.
Thank you for
Mhm.
doing that. Great. Okay, so we're going to further investigate that.
Yeah, I'll send you one. Sure.
Yeah, so they have to
Yes.
You just have to,
We have to decide.
Yeah, so what, Town of Dover drafted that law, they circulated it to this board or this town, and I'm gonna guess every other adjacent
Surrounding.
neighboring town, as part of the seeker process, and they are designating themselves as lead agency. This board,
But asking us to join on.
well,
No,
no, they
Town
want
of
to.
Dover's doing lead agency. in
They're
their
going to
own
be lead
town.
agency, they want to handle it. So if the board wants to be involved,
Right.
they have to opt into that. It's their law, it's their town. So I don't normally see municipalities vying or trying to get involved with other municipalities' secret process. It's really up to this board. We've had similar situations that come around, and we generally don't opt into lead agency or vie for it, but it's really up to this board. It's a decision for the board to make. So that's what they're asking
The
for.
form is that you consent that the above-named agency serve as lead agency. Dover's their own lead agency.
Yeah.
Are you looking to find a letter of comments? Are you looking to not consent and that the town of Armenia wants to serve as lead agency? Or you want to take no position at all as lead agency? So that's what you have to determine, so that way we can sign this and send it back to the town of Dover.
Generally, there's a time frame to that.
That's what I was
as
going to
well.
ask. I didn't notice.
Yeah, I don't
it
know if the
does- it
board's had the
does.
opportunity
Well, their
really
next- Their
to
next,
look at it.
their next meeting, the public hearing, is going to be Wednesday, July 29th. So
When's our next
normally,
23rd.
the whole idea of a response for seeker is 30 days. It's the same as what we do when we do our seeker. So
So the three choices are, we want to be lead agency, we don't want to be.
basically.
And the
Or do you
second
want-
one is we're not.
Do you want to
really.
consent, or do you want to send a letter with comments?
I don't think,
It's
I
in
don't
our
have a letter
packets.
of comment. I think it's a no-brainer. These communities don't benefit, and they
It was in the
have a
email
lot to
that I
lose.
sent.
They're downstream of us, not upstream, so it wouldn't be that we would be affected. But I think the benefits, the cons far outweigh the pros. And so it's their issue. We'll be asking for something similar, in my guess, in a short time.
And again, the local law is the moratorium. That's what,
Yeah.
so it's,
It's not our, it's.
So then the decision is that we are going to ignore that.
Take no
right?
action.
But we want to come up with our own
Correct.
moratorium.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to what extent, and to what, you know, I think Walter's suggesting that we look beyond just data centers and look at the other
Yeah.
big conglomerates that are trying to find land
Sounds like
in
taking
sleepy
up the-
towns when they wake up.
Right, okay.
Walter, can you include me on that circulation of that information?
I most definitely will,
Thank you.
but I'll write you down too.
So
Make
the
a
next step would be review.
Oh, you need to
Walter-
make, somebody has to make a motion for me.
I make a
I'm s-
motion to take no position
position.
on that moratorium.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. I'll send that out.
Okay. Our consent agenda.
Oh, I have a question before I get started on the consent agenda. If I have a question about item number 2, and it has to do with litigation, you know, I just have a question, but I think then I'd have to take it out of the consent agenda to
And then
ask
We
we
my
should have
question.
done that when
Yeah,
we
you should
did,
have
when
done
we
that.
adopted.
Oh, we adopted it, okay, so I've
But-
lost my, that's okay.
So procedurally, how that would work is when they do a motion to accept the agenda, if there's something that's on consent that you don't want on consent because you want to discuss it for any reason,
Yeah,
that at that point in time, you would pull it off.
yeah,
The consent agenda goes to a non-consent agenda.
got it. Okay, that's fine.
And you had a question on the second?
Just the second part of it is authorizing the settlement of tax certiorari proceedings commenced by
Yeah.
Keystone.
So the,
So it's in
your
the
your
consent
tax cert, yeah, but I'll just say that your tax cert council did circulate a
memorandum.
memo, and
Yes.
all the details are in that,
Yeah,
so.
I just wondered how long, so it says it would be through 2025. In other words, next year they could contest it again. But if I can't talk about this because it is.
Generally speaking, they're in place for 3 years. I didn't
That's what I thought.
negotiate this one,
No,
so I
it only
can't
says
tell
through
you what that says.
2025, but I don't see anything that reference that this will be a settlement that we agree to for 3 years. And that would be to me,
So procedurally, the board would have to make a vote to pull this at this point. We've already accepted the agenda, so if there is a question, it still would be up to the board, if they don't feel comfortable at this point, to pull it off the agenda.
the school board also hasn't made a final determination. The lawyer for the school board has suggested that they're going to agree to it, but they haven't agreed to it. So they haven't done a vote as of the memorandum, but maybe that has happened.
We have no say.
But you have no say? The memorandum indicates that you are going to make a decision.
It's a decision that the assessor, we have nothing to say about assessments.
So you don't have the opportunity to accept or reject?
You have your own assessor? I didn't know that. You have an assessor for this?
No.
No.
I'm sure
Oh,
you-
no,
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 our
no, no.
assessor is the
Your
assessor.
assessor
That
is
is
the
that.
one who
Okay.
gets to decide, yeah.
Interesting. So they,
The attorney for the school district did appear in this action, and he did represent that the school district was in favor, his belief was that they would be in favor of the consent judgment.
Correct. But they,
An opinion, that's all.
Correct, that was before that board, but I don't know when that would be. Generally speaking,
okay.
how about that?
Okay. So I would, I would simply say that we should be holding out for a 3-year, you know, we don't want to litigate every year on, because we're keeping it 100% tax evaluation, so we all get increases, and I don't know, that's my sense, but,
It sounds
It's up
like we
to
should
all.
pull it for this evening, and that's what we should vote on.
That would be up to the supervisor.
it's her call.
And then again, procedurally, if there is a question going forward in the future, that when there is that motion to accept the agenda,
That's
or
what we
any
should
time
do.
beforehand, when you guys get the agenda ahead of time, when you see the agenda and you read it and there's something there that you don't, or have a question on, any question for that matter, you can request even before now. You don't have to wait. You can make the request before the agenda gets posted, that it's pulled off and put on non-consent. So are we going
Okay,
to remove
well,
that then?
hearing-
Is that the
hearing
consensus of
nothing.
the board here to pull this at this point?
So somebody's got to make a motion.
I'll
It's
make
up
a
to you.
motion that we pull this,
Authorization.
authorization settlement of tax certiorari proceedings commenced by King Stud LLC from the consent agenda for additional information.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm a no.
Any opposed?
No. Yes, I'm opposed, sorry.
You're opposed?
Yes.
I am too. And the reason being that this has been going on for quite a, the longer this goes on, the more money it costs, but, so,
And it's only for 2024 and 2025.
Okay, so it fails.
Yeah. So what is the resolution of it?
So it fails?
Yeah, because we are tied.
Yeah. So what does that mean?
It stays
So
on,
we're-
it's
it
on
stays
on
on.
consent.
It stays on.
Back where we were, okay.
Okay.
So now I'm going to go. Okay, so at this time, with the consent agenda, moving the resolutions. Is there someone to move the resolutions? Number 59, a resolution of the Town Board of the Town of Mimina accepting the Arbor Day proclamation and supporting the Tree City USA program, and resolution number 60, authorizing the settlement of the tax certiorari proceeding commenced by SL Keen Stud LLC.
I'll make that motion.
a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
No.
Opposed?
Okay. So
Okay, so
then-
that means both motions fail.
Correct.
Okay, so now we're on the non-consent agenda.
So
There is
we'll
none.
have
I know,
to
so that means that the other ones didn't go.
put the resolution for the town board and the meeting accepting the Arbor Day proclamation will be on the next agenda, as well as after we get clarification, authorizing of the settlement of the taxes.
Perfect.
Okay? Thank you. All right, no non-consent agenda, other matters?
I had a question, two questions, sorry. In regards to the summer camp, I had asked, well, I don't know if I asked, but it had been asked about the Millbrook nurse, and I take it that it's all taken care of and she's going to be there and we're not paying for it.
Millbrook nurse?
Not Millbrook, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Maplebrook. No, we don't have a Maplebrook nurse. They have,
Maplebrook.
right, they have 3 nurses, I believe, that were cleared, 3 or 4, because they had some backups cleared, and then they have 2 main ones, so,
At Maplebrook.
at the camp.
Oh, at the
They're not
camp?
from- They're not from Naperville, no.
Oh, okay,
They're hired by the camp.
okay. So that was all included, I didn't see it, okay. I never saw it in the,
It was
what
one of
we
the
got, okay.
jobs listed.
Good, fine, thank you. That's what I just wanted to clear that up in my head. The other was about the tree trimming in the cemetery and behind Town Hall. I had brought that up in an email. Do we need a consent to, or anything from Ian to say that we're going to hire Lee's Trees to do this job? I'd like to get back to him. And in that sense, 1 second, sorry, I had, there was a little confusion, obviously, on the people Erica Levin and Daniel Marcus, but I had written a letter to them, and this has the wrong address. I'm going to have to change it. These are just copies that you all can have of my letter. It was actually printed on letterhead. But I'm going to stop by their house here to see if they're home this weekend, and if they're not, I will leave a copy of the letter, and if they are there, I will be done, hopefully, and if they're not there, I'll leave a copy, and I'll also send it to their address in Cincinnati or Columbus.
So, if I'm not mistaken, Lee's Trees, what they wanted to wait until they got clearance from the neighboring
No.
before we proceeded.
No.
I thought you said
No.
that they wanted permission.
No, they don't need permission, you'll see in my letter, they don't even need it. It's hanging over the cemetery. A property owner can cut the tree. They said they just wanted us to notify them,
Okay,
which is what I had said.
Which is, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is what I'm doing.
okay.
Yeah.
And, are there any of those nice big old trees?
I'm sorry.
Any of those nice big old trees being taken down that are in the front there?
No,
Okay.
not this time. One's going to be trimmed, there's a lot of dead stuff. The big one in the middle has to go at some point.
Okay.
But right now, it's just gonna be cleaned out, and there's a lot of stuff falling off it. But that's pulling up stuff like crazy. But the ones that are not near any of the gravestones will not be taken up. And the ones for the Levens, et cetera, are all pin oaks that are just,
Okay.
growing like weeds. Yes, sir.
This is a proposed letter,
I misunderstood.
correct?
It hasn't been sent out.
Okay. Can you email it to me? And then I'll, there's
I
one or
don't-
two edits I'd like.
Don't know if I can. I think I can.
You
Oh,
can-
I
you
need a
can
copy.
apply.
Is there an extra copy down
You can
there?
have this one.
Oh, I got this one.
Okay.
Thank you.
I could edit it by hand and scan it.
No,
back to
no,
you
no,
if
it's
that's easier.
okay. I can email
I
it
figured
to
if I
you.
just had the electronic version, I could do a red line for you.
Of course.
What about the one right here behind Town Hall?
No, that was included.
That's included.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to ask Town Hall if it's okay.
We want it gone.
So, the question is then, so I think we could just move forward with that. If I'm not mistaken, we've used Lee's Trees in the past. They're part of our regular.
Yeah, it's
Treat people
My
like
understanding
that.
is they're already under contract with the
Yes.
municipality, so, yeah.
it was approved
Okay,
last.
So we don't need
And
anything.
I believe
You guys,
we
we
approved
by
it.
a consensus last meeting. By consensus last meeting, you guys all agreed to get this done.
Okay.
Okay, so we're good. So we
Okay.
can notify them to
Wonderful.
move forward on that. Thank you, Robert, for taking that. Speaking of the tree in the back of Town Hall, we have an issue with the, I guess it's called a rain garden, starting to overtake the playground. Nobody seems to be taking care of it. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to look like. To me, it looks like a bunch of weeds that are growing up. And as close as it's getting to, well, some of it is actually kind of growing up in the playground, which I asked Sean today if he would pull some of those weeds and get them out of the playground.
We're talking about Phragmites because that's a serious, that's not even, it's like you can't pull it out. It's got a serious underground network. It's a rhizome and it's very invasive. So it's, I think what you're talking about are the spiky parts that are going from the wetland, which is just beyond the chain link fence. And
No,
Is it
this is
not?
the rain garden that's not being taken
the
care
rain
of.
garden has been overtaken by Phragmites. So
Okay.
that is Phragmites, that is now.
So we have to have it removed, so
That's tough.
well, we can't just let it grow.
No, you have to mow it or.
Well, so I guess my point is
Yep.
that at this point, since that's taking over, would the best thing be to just mow down that whole area?
I would mow
So the
everything
problem is
you
it's
can
been,
mow.
it's mowed in the past, like, we were
Correct.
having Sean weed whack it all down because no one was taking care of it.
Mhm.
I don't know who was supposed to be taking care of it, but, it's been overgrown for years. And we would have him whack it down once a year, but now there's new trees that have sprouted up in there. So, and because it's so high, I'd be afraid of him going in there with a weed whacker and hitting something he shouldn't hit with a weed whacker.
Well, my concern is we have to do something with it.
You have to
because
do something about what's coming into the playground, yeah.
Well, not only that, it's taking it all down because, as it grows like that, it's just becoming, those invasive species tend to take over even more, number one. Number two, as overgrown and crowded as it is, I'm worried about what critters might be
Also in
in there that, might harm the kids playing on the playground. I mean, mice or rats or anything. So, I think it has to be removed, however we need to remove it.
But weed whacking it year after year isn't getting rid of it.
Right, but if we get rid of it and then mow it every year as we mow the rest of the playground, then that should take care of
So
it.
then do we have to look in how we get rid of it?
Yeah.
Well, we did get a quote from HVA, Housatonic Valley Association's Mike Drosinski, as a stream ecology specialist. I mean, he's I can't, let's see, Mike Drosinski. I bet I'll forward you his recommendation that he gave to us years ago. And it involved glyphosate. And the Conservation Advisory Council was opposed to using glyphosate. That is one of the most effective ways of killing Phragmites and holding it at bay. But I will send you that proposal. I believe he's still with HVA, and he could tell us and educate us why he recommended that. He is, that's his forte. Just
All right.
since- Just
But it has to be, definitely has to be addressed.
Okay.
Because we can't have it overrunning the playground. So that was one of my other matters. The other matter I had was, to my surprise, because it was so quick, I had a concern looking about overgrowing and obliterating the signs on 343, and this morning on my way to town hall, there was DOT cutting and trimming. After I called them, they said they have to see who's responsible for it, but they were out there trimming it all up. And,
Excellent.
So, obviously, they were responsible for it. So
Every
they-
July, I look at standing there watering the planters, and I look towards the library, and I see the signs. You can't see them because they're all grown over. So every year, I'm sorry, you'll hear this again in July as I'm watering. I'm going to say, you can't
And
see
I'll
the
call and
signs.
remind them. I have the number. It's in my speed dial.
Speaking of signs, I know Vicki had brought up some signs in one of her emails too. I haven't been able to stop and actually walk up to the Armenia signs, but either they're fading or they get really dirty because they're not as bright as they used to be. It's the one on 22 that I pass every day going to and from work.
By the rail trail down there?
No, not the one, well, it's by the Catholic cemetery.
Yeah.
Oh, by the rail trail, I was thinking the train station, sorry.
So
Yeah.
maybe they just need to be
Yeah,
washed
it might, maybe
off.
just need to be washed off. I just haven't had time to stop by and,
Yeah,
Okay.
are they they're plastic, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I hope they're not fading, but I hope that if I'll just take some, I'll look, I'll check it out.
It's actually not flat. The letters and everything are, yeah,
A little raised,
mhm,
take an old sponge.
if I remember correctly, because Josh actually rehung that one.
Yeah, I remember when it was gone for a while.
Okay, and one other thing, I'm sorry, but in my meeting today with Denise, we happened to talk about the cemetery, and she said the town owns cemeteries, are responsible for maintaining cemeteries. She said, there's nothing here that shows that. We have no idea what they are. You need to find out who they are, what they are. So, Walter, when you're looking.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
So Denise said that she has never heard of, she's our accountant, said she's never heard that the town has to maintain any cemeteries. So she needs a list of the cemeteries that we maintain. Which I told her the one on my GAT, there's one on Leesville. I don't know if there are any others that we maintain.
On Smithfield. There's not one.
Where?
Smithfield.
Smithfield?
But I'll give you the same list because
The
it's
same
on,
list,
it's what
yeah,
you
no.
guys mow.
Dawn's giving us a
Part of
list.
your, it's part of your,
Okay. Dawn's got the list.
Separate road? Or Bangor Wing Road?
it's Smithfield.
That's Smithfield.
Oh,
That's the
Smithfield.
Smithfield one. Because when they're abandoned, you only have to mow them twice a
All
year.
right, so the list is in the contract?
Yes.
All right. Well, she was concerned that she was unaware, so I'm just letting you
Thank you.
know that. All right, any other comment matters?
Well, oh, go ahead, Vicki.
I sent everybody the report that I provided. I already talked about the split rail fence, but I wanted to make sure everybody had pictures of the current condition of the split rail fences that I was describing. I will forward those photos on to Rosanna, which she'll forward to the MTA. I was going to mention that volunteer James Olinger is willing to help us redesign the two Welcome to Wassaic signs in the same style as the Welcome to Amenia signs, and he's willing to help figure that out. They wouldn't be as big because the spaces where the two Welcome to Wassaic signs are in a smaller piece of real estate.
Do we know what the cost is for them to do
I
that?
don't know
Did-
what, I wasn't on the board, so I don't know.
Oh, did
what
you
those
not talk
costs-
to him? I thought this meant that you talked to him.
I spoke to him, but he just had a new baby, and he.
So I had
just
talked to
texted-
him when you first brought this up, and I told you
Oh,
that,
okay.
I had asked him how much, and so I can pull that up.
Okay,
He told me, I believe it was he said 10,000 for,
That's what I thought it was.
yeah, it was 10,000 for
sign?
all four. For all four.
wait, I only need two.
So roughly 5 to 6K for two. And then he did say the signs were definitely a bit small, and that was their biggest size, the ones we have for the Amina ones. So as long as you're okay with that size, it's about 5 to 6 for two of them.
Can you forward that to me? So-
It was a text, but we texted.
Oh, so, it's,
I reached out to him. It's usually the easiest way to get a response from him.
okay, yeah, no, I texted him as well, and so I guess I will try and follow up unless you want to.
I can follow up, yeah, because I had originally asked, like, do you think you could help us design this? And then he only came back with pricing, because I asked him both, like, how much was it, and could you help us design Wassaic? And I sent him the picture.
So, the cost of the actual construction or the cost of designs, what did you
That was to get them made.
get them designed
don't-
and made?
I don't know if that included the posts, obviously, but the signs, that's how much it costs.
So it's like $5,000.
5 to 6 for two, he's saying.
5 to 6. Okay, and that is using
The same.
contractor? Okay. Which happens to be the fellow who's, I asked for quotes for the split
For
rail
the fencing?
fencing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The top of the picnic bench at Borden Park is broken. I did talk to the fencing guy and I said, can you just add a new plank on there?
I
And
had
he
Sean do
said,
it yesterday.
oh, it's fixed?
Yes,
Oh, that's fantastic.
I texted him yesterday morning, he had it done by 4 p.m. and sent me a picture of it fixed.
Wow,
And
fantastic.
he said in the future, just contact him directly when things need to get done.
It looked hard. I mean, the,
I told him, I said, if
Metal
it's not,
piece
I said, if
needed
it's
to
not able to be fixed, just
Yeah.
remove it because it's a hazard, so.
Okay.
But he was able to fix it.
okay, excellent. The top of the, okay, that's good. So there's a frame around the Veterans Memorial, and I think I sent you the parcel access thing, that it's basically on the U.S. Postal Service's property, but we, Donnie Cummins and said that he doesn't know who moved that from the raised park, which isn't ours either, but we maintain, we do what we can to maintain it. And then it was moved over here in front of the post office. And who did that, I don't know. I'm still trying to track that down. But is it, so we cannot take care of things that are on other people's parcels? It's very weird, because Pauling Court, Borden Park, we just fixed that thing. But this is, I would say, within the right-of-way, but in fact, we can't figure out who owns Main Street in Wassaic, so I guess we just can't do anything in Wassaic because we can't figure out who owns.
Well, we know who owns this property, right? It's the post office property.
That's the post office, but the town has a road, and usually the road right-of-way extends so that you can maintain that road. So if there was a tree sitting there where that sign is, and the limbs were going to fall down on passing cars, you would cut it, right? So that there's a right-of-way that usually goes 25 feet from the center line. And so you pace that out, and that would be well within that 25-foot.
But is it our sign that we're trying to fix? Because the picnic table, the town put there.
Correct, we bought that.
So is this sign ours?
I don't know.
And I think that's where the problem lies, not so much the property, it's,
Are we looking
the
at,
posts need to be replaced on this sign.
So if the sign,
And the frame,
we put the
there's a
sign
little
up?
frame around it. There's
We
very
don't know
little
who signed it is,
still
who put it
attached.
up.
well, we should find out who signed it is. That would be,
Okay, we'll keep looking.
so how can you figure out who owns it?
it's outside the post
Who owns
office?
the sign?
I would ask
I
them.
don't know how to find out. I've asked Bonnie Boyles, that's the fireman who might have bothered,
Does
but
the
it's
post office
probably
know?
the town it's, who would have honored, maybe it's VFW knows,
Well, I was
but
gonna say, I would check with
That's a good one.
VFW.
The
Yeah.
VFW, okay,
VFW, that's where we got the names from.
Right.
okay. Maybe they remember
Sure,
who
just
it
ask
was, who actually constructed it.
I guess I'll ask my mother-in-law.
That'd be great. Thank you. And then the retaining walls. Do I need to get some quotes for that, or we just don't feel that's a high priority?
The retaining walls on
On
Mechanic.
Mechanic Street, there are, across from the firehouse,
Mhm.
there are retaining walls that were built but never fully secured, so they need new mortaring, new pointing, I think is what the technical term is.
I think you can get some quotes, but I can't promise anything. I think that one of the things that we need to really focus on is that sidewalk and how that's gonna go. That has to be a priority, so I think it doesn't hurt to have these, and if a miracle occurs and everything is paid for with the sidewalk, then I think, we can move forward, but I hesitate to start committing anything, but I don't see any problems in getting quotes.
Okay, so the final parts of my report are that the CAC meets on the third Thursdays at 7 o'clock. Thank you, Dawn Marie, for changing the website, because it said for years that it started at 6:30, and it starts at 7 at the Amenia Town Hall. And the next meeting is Wednesday, July 15th at 7 p.m. The Hudson Valley Regional Council for the Mid-Hudson Landfill Biofilters Project is going to have a cohort meeting on Wednesday, the 15th, from 10 to 11:15 regarding the greenhouse gas emissions from local closed landfills. So the CAC has been following that, those measurements of gases that are being emitted. And the CAC is hosting a repair cafe as part of the Harvest Festival on Saturday, October 17th on East Main Street. For the Comprehensive Plan Review Committee, their next meeting is Tuesday, July 14th at 6 p.m. at the Town Hall Meeting Room. Meetings are on the second Tuesday at 6 o'clock at the Town Hall, and they will be reviewing the single source procurement documents for hiring the grant administrator, the planning consultant, and land use lawyer to assist in updating the comprehensive plan per the grant awarded to the town by the Department of State. For the Enhancement Committee, they are looking, they would like to meet with the landscape architect once the contract is completed to provide input about the renovation plans for Fountain Square. The committee's volunteers are watering, weeding, and fertilizing the gardens at Borden Park, also across from the Wassaic Project and Fountain Square, plus the concrete planters at Library and Town Hall. is, where is our next, what is the next thing we need to do to move forward with the landscape architect's proposed contract? I think you were looking at the insurance requirements. They requested a lowered,
I believe this matter is going to be discussed in an executive session.
oh, okay. Very good. That's the end of my report.
I just want to announce that the senior picnic is next Saturday at noon at the Wassaic Firehouse. As of right now, we have 30 RSVP'd, so I appreciate if anybody else would RSVP so that we can ensure that we have plenty of food and dessert. Other than that, soccer signups are still out. Please get those kids signed up. I think I have the cutoff as July 31st, August 1st, because if I don't have enough kids, we can't make teams and I can't have a program. So please sign up your kids. That's it.
Anybody else?
Done.
Okay, in that case, then, I make a motion that we retire again into.
Public.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
yes.
sorry, public comment.
So quiet, Judy, we thought maybe
I'm
you were
sorry, I apologize.
radical.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. My one for my car because I forgot mine.
Couple of things on the certiorari resolution. The reason that it is only for 2024 and 2025 is because that's the only certioraries that were filed. The 2026 assessment roll was just filed with the county. You can't settle something that hasn't been filed.
I think we have in the past, but we've made an agreement once you.
If that's what you are talking about, is whether the assessor has said we're not going to raise it for this year, that's valid. You could look and see, but I have to say, I would find it very strange if our assessor sat there and we signed a settlement for 2 years and then she jacked it up.
Well,
That's
every year we get a 100% valuation, so she does reevaluate everything yearly.
But this has been settled, so the court and the town and the assessor have accepted that as 100% value. So short of the, yes, but short of the 6.5% increase that would go to 2026, she's not going to decide that it magically went up another 30% between, it doesn't matter, you could just look at it, that's all you have to do is look at the assessment this year and see if it's near the other one, and that'll
It's just
solve
my
it for you.
question. And
No, I know.
I know we've done it in the past with other entities when we entered into a settlement so that you don't.
So that you don't raise the next
Every
year.
year,
Yes,
ideally.
like we did with Silo Ridge, and
Yes.
that contained settlements for the next 3 years, which is what makes me think that this one is not going to be an issue, but anyway. The other thing is on the recording meetings. I just want to make sure everybody understands that any citizen can walk in and record a meeting. Because I don't want there to be trouble, because I will be recording the housing board meeting. I understand why people may be hesitant to do that. COVID changed a lot. I mean, we now Zoom all of our school board meetings. I have been known to make mistakes and sound a little stupid from time to time. It's not fun. I could live without seeing myself on a screen for the rest of my life, but unfortunately, I don't get to do that. But I think Rosanna's point about stopping things that are said that did not happen at a meeting, I think that really outweighs the downside, because people run around and say, they said this, they said that. If you have something that you can look at and find out whether they said this or that, I think that's a really good point. But anyway, okay, thank you.
Anybody else? No, there's nobody here. Okay, now I make a motion that we retire into executive session for advice of counsel on Route 44 sidewalk and for the discussion of the possible hiring of a particular person.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you.